In this example, we're going to investigate addition, subtraction, and the order of operations. Solve the problem below. Be sure to indicate every step in the process of your solution. So let's take a look at the problem. Suppose on the first day of the month you start with, I'm going to highlight our givens as we go, $150 in your bank account. You make a debit transaction on the second day for $60. And then you make a deposit on the third day for $20. And our goal is to find what is the balance in your account on the third day. So we know you start with $150, you make a debit transaction for $60, then you make a deposit on the third day for $20. Our goal is to find the balance in your account on the third day. So in application problems, typically it's really easy to see what order you're going to do the operations in. So we could think of this kind of with respect to time. You start with $150 and you make a debit, which we know is subtracting $60. And that means you have $90 in your account. So that's the first step. Then we see that you make a deposit on the third day for $20. So we'll need to take your previous balance of $90 and add on your deposit, which gives us $110. So we could write in words that your final balance on the third day is $110. Okay. Now let's look at the second question. What string of operations written horizontally can be used to determine the amount in your account? So what's really important here is that we want a string of operations written horizontally. So we wrote two pieces here. We wrote our first step and the result, and then we took that result and added on $20. So how are we going to write this symbolically as one string of operations? Well, let's just start by writing it from left to right. So we have 150, then we subtracted 60, and then we added 20. So just like we read from left to right, we can write this from left to right. Okay? But there's something we want to check on here. So suppose we were just given this string of operations written horizontally. There are two operations to perform, subtraction and addition. So how do you know which one to do first? Okay. Well, if we did them from left to right, doing the subtraction first, so let's look at these separately. If we did subtraction first, we would have 150 minus 60 plus 20. Okay. On the next line, so try to write your results vertically, moving down each step after you compute, and that way you'll keep better track of your information. 150 minus 60 is 90. And then 90 plus 20 is 110. And notice that's exactly how we did the problem here. We just wrote it in two separate lines. Now let's see what would happen if we did the addition first. So we start with 150 minus 60 plus 20. Well, if we did the addition first, we would take 60 plus 20. So the 150 is still there, minus 80, and 150 minus 80 is 70. Oh, let me put in my equal signs. Okay. So notice our results are different. Here we had 110, which we found was our correct result based on the information in the problem. And here we had 70, which is incorrect. So notice when we had done the subtraction first, we ended subtracting off $80 in this step. Well, we know that that $20 was a deposit. That was money that we're putting in. And the 60 was taken away. So in this step, when we added first, we ended up subtracting off our deposit instead of adding it. So that was like our deposit was a withdrawal or a debit transaction. So this one is incorrect. Okay? Meaning it doesn't apply to this situation in the problem. So, since we can get two different answers, we need a rule that tells us which way we're supposed to do the problem. So we can all agree on the order of operations. So our rule 1, we're going to see many rules in this unit, is that when we need to add or subtract 2 or more times in one problem, we will perform the operations from left to right. So just like we did here, there was 2 operations, we did the subtraction first, then the addition. So now if you're given a problem like this, where you're given both, when you're given 2 operations, it's not that the subtraction always comes first or the addition always comes first. Whatever is on the left comes first, and then your next operation is further to the right.